Last week I made a video about why many therapists believe they have to stay poor in order to be ethical in their work. And some of the comments inevitably went down the rabbit hole of why unqualified hacks are able to compete with therapists as coaches in the first place. I read a lot of very familiar comments on the topic like, "It's crazy there are no regulations for these coaches. It's reckless. People with no clinical training cannot be in the mental health field. They're only concerned about fame and followers. They don't care about their impact on people. Trauma work cannot be done by a non-professional without harming the client." And all of this is true. There are people who have come into the coaching industry and are operating entirely from their own egos, projecting themselves all over their clients without even knowing what projection even is, giving harmful advice, bypassing their own issues by trying to be some kind of guru for others as a way of not doing their own work. And all with almost no training and no credentials. And it's legal. In fact, it seems like the more training you have, the less legal and the more difficult it is for you to provide any kind of service at all, right? So what's the right perspective here? Coaching is a $1.4 billion business, and it's here to stay. I don't think regulation is coming anytime soon. The government really doesn't want that. First of all, it's hard to prove that a coach did harm, even if they did, so you can make a case for a regulatory body. Second, $1.4 billion in revenue is hundreds of millions of tax dollars that goes directly in the government's pocket, so they'll want to keep it going and not make it smaller. So what does this mean? Are all therapists screwed now? Is an army of life coaches coming into your industry and taking all of your clients? Are you going to be seen as an equal to some hack who took a 3-month, less than part-time coaching qualification that basically amounts to CBT done badly, even though you've put in hundreds of thousands of hours of study and work and experience that they haven't? Are we careering towards a disaster here? Or is there another way to see it? Let me offer you a marketer's perspective, because this is the way that I look at it. This is different. I think that railing against the coaching industry will achieve absolutely nothing. It's a good whine, and yet another thing to be mad about in our industry, but this attitude changes nothing and will do nothing. Coaching will continue to grow. It will increasingly become an alternative that people opt for. Heck, even big companies are hiring coaches now. There's a much better question that you need to ask. Why are people buying from these coaches, not you? What are you missing that these coaches have put their finger on? Well, the best way to look at this is from your client's perspective. When a client wants therapy, they've usually decided that something is wrong in their lives. It could be a very specific problem they recognize, or just a feeling of being stuck. They do their own thought work about what they should do, and then they come to the conclusion that they need a therapist. Next, they go looking. Many will end up looking at a directory, and there they'll see a sea of seemingly identical profiles to choose from. The bios all sound the same. They pick up the phone and call a few and then go with who they like. Because of the sea of choices, the market operates like a commodity. A lot of choice, seemingly little difference between them that the client can understand at least, and so they just pick someone who seems okay, right? And the therapy apps are just going to make this even worse. So what are coaches doing differently? How can they charge thousands of dollars for their services when their work is so much worse than yours? The answer is it's all in their marketing. Coaches don't just sell therapy. Successful coaches don't even sell life coaching. Their marketing sells specific answers to specific problems. This is something that therapists have never been taught to do. While your PT profile talks about your 3 degrees and uses terms that nobody understands like EMDR, CBT, DBT, ACT, coaches are speaking directly to the market, using the market's own words and offering people a way out of their problems. If the coach's marketing basically makes the client's decision for them, the person will buy from the coach rather than trying to figure out from a therapist's PT profile if this person can even help them. From that point, it's downhill for the coach to retain the client and uphill for you to do the same. That's it. I know that degrees, certifications, and ethics are important, but your client doesn't really care about them. All they want to know is if they hire you, can you help them solve their problem? And if they believe you can, and that problem is painful enough for them in this moment, the sale is made there and then. Even if the coach asks for $3,000 and you're only asking for $150 after a free consultation. So with this perspective, what is the right way to look at the coaching industry? As an opportunity. You see, if an unqualified hack can command a $3,000 fee for a coaching service, what would you be worth if you also had a hand in that industry? Instead of looking down your nose at it, deciding everything is out of integrity and that you're so much better than them, why not come off your intellectual pulpit and go find the people who so badly need you where they want to buy from you? How big an impact would you make if you could spend some of your time putting out valuable, life-changing information that could alter the lives of way more people than you know as you promote your coaching service? Are you happy being a well-kept secret, tucked away in a small office, serving just a few people who know about you? Or do you have something to share that if you only had a platform to share it, you know you could help fulfill your purpose as a healer and a life changer on a level you didn't know was possible? What would life be like if you charged $3,000 to help someone who could afford the best help, rather than slaving away for whatever the insurance company thinks you're worth, or whatever pittance an agency throws your way as you burn yourself into the ground? These are great questions. So instead of being pissed off about the coaching industry, what if you saw it as an opportunity instead of a threat? Perhaps the greatest opportunity that's come along for therapists in decades. What if this is your opportunity to take your power back from a mental health industry that doesn't give a shit about you? What if this can be the vehicle that upgrades your quality of life to the point where you have the time and energy that your kids and your relationship really needs from you? These are the right questions to be asking, because when you come at it from this mindset, you'll notice new opportunities to make a difference, to make more money, and greatly improve your work-life balance as a result. I hope this video offers a little bit of a different perspective, and if it does, click the link below to join a weekly training and Q&A with me where I'll teach you a different approach to coaching that will get you paid what you deserve while cutting your clinical hours down. It's an opportunity you should at least be educated on, because coaching is now a viable career alternative or a great second stream of income that can change the life of an overworked and underpaid therapist and give you the resources that your family needs without burning you into the ground.